Okay, let's look at 31 here. So we're going to do this one next. And notice I've got trinomial on top, trinomial on the bottom in the first fraction. I have a binomial in my second fraction in the numerator and a binomial in the denominator, factor. Okay, so on this top, if I'm going to factor this, 1 times 20, so I need a product of 20 and I need a sum of 12. So everybody agree that would be 10 and 2 are my pair of factors. So this top is really going to factor into n plus 10 and n plus 2. Okay, that's this trinomial right there. Now you could do the splitting, but again, a is 1 here, and kind of the two pairs that you're choosing are what goes in the binomials. And again, that only works with a being 1. Now on the bottom, if I was going to factor the bottom, so now I'm looking at this trinomial. If I did my product and sum, product of negative 10, 1 times negative 10 here, sum of negative 3. Now to get a negative product, I have to have a negative and a positive, so it would be negative 5, and positive 2 would be my sum that adds up to the negative 3. So that would factor into n minus 5 and n plus 2. That's the first fraction. So that's all of this right here. Okay, now over here, if you look at the top, that's only a binomial, but I can take a 7n out. So I'm going to factor out a 7n, and I'm left with n minus 4. Down on the bottom, I can take a 7n out. I'm left with n plus 10. Factoring out a greatest common factor. Okay, so now, what cancels? Well, I've got an n plus 10 factor that'll cancel. I've got an n plus 2 factor that'll cancel. I have a 7n monomial factor that'll cancel. And I am left with n minus 4 over n minus 5. And again, those n's do not cancel. And that is your final answer right there. Okay, let's page. Now we are going to look at division. And the rule is when you divide that you multiply by the reciprocal. So if I had 1/2 divided by 3/4, the rule is I leave the first fraction the same and I multiply by the reciprocal. And I could do some reducing there, so that would be 2/3. It's going to be the same without, the fraction rules don't change with algebraic fractions. Okay, so let's look at 43. And these are monomials now, so we'll start off with some simpler ones. So I am going to make this 5/6, and I'm going to multiply it by the reciprocal of this one because it's division, so 6x squared over 3. Now, you don't have to reduce first, but you can. 6 goes in here once and in here once, and so I really end up with 5x squared on the top. 5 times 1 times x squared, and 1 times 3 on the bottom is just 3, and that would be my answer.